does rule by intimidation, by fear, and he delights to be known as a tough guy.
What's inconceivable to me is that he didn't know that his father lived a life of crime.
Something I don't discuss because it's personal.
For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out at the old ball game.
Look at Rudy Giuliani's personal history. He married his second cousin. They were too closely related by blood. Then he divorced Donna Hanover, the mother of his 2 children, where this played out in the papers. She found out that she was getting a divorce when he announced it at a press conference, and he left her allegedly for Judith Nathan, with whom he had apparently an extramarital affair, still married to Donna Hanover. I don't personally care, but I'm not the Republican base. Sounds to me like if you're talking about values are not something that Rudy Giuliani had.
That Bernard Kerik is the largest skeleton in Rudy Giuliani's closet. Today, the New York Times reported that back in 2000, then Mayor Giuliani was briefed about Kerik's possible ties to a company accused of having links to organized crime. In 2004, with the strong backing of Giuliani, President Bush nominated Kerik to run the Homeland Security Department. Within a week, however, Kerik's nomination was derailed over his nanny's immigration status.
Rudy surround himself with?
Thank everybody for being here. I just introduced the mayor, America's mayor. And before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about him and why I decided to endorse him today. And, you know, my great hero was Ronald Reagan. I remember when Reagan rescued America from the malaise of the late 70s and early 80s. He basically restored our country. And a similar story occurred up in New York. The mayor rescued New York City from the cesspool that it was and basically restored it to the grandeur, to that shining city on a hill.
Carolina State Treasurer facing drug charges. Thomas Ravenel resigned from office today. He made the announcement during his court appearance this morning in Charleston.
Our number 1 story in the countdown. Now, Senator David Vitter of Louisiana has become the first elected victim of the D.C. Madam scandal.
Sure. It's the classic tale of the young up-and-coming representative. He was Harvard. He was a Rhodes Scholar. He befriended the Religious Right Family Research Council, as you noted, assumed Bob Livingston's seat in the Congress, then in the Senate, and now joins in the great Louisiana political tradition of Earl Long and Jimmy Swaggart, and of course his predecessor in that very same seat.
So an actual meaningful relevance to the 2008 presidential campaign, particularly for Rudy Giuliani. Explain what that is.
Well, Vitter was the first senator to endorse Giuliani. It was the Southern Regional Coordinator. I suppose still actually is in that position. This is sort of a double blow to Giuliani because his leader of his campaign in the state of South Carolina has been indicted on federal cocaine charges. So this is perhaps bad luck for Giuliani. It might, on the one hand, indicate some bad choices on his part. On the other hand, it could be seen that perfectly normal and upstanding citizens like Bernard Kerik and David Vitter and that poor fellow in South Carolina are somehow afflicted by a curse of Giuliani, that it was what he had done to them.
The lack of a unified command, shortcomings in communications equipment, poor exchange of information among emergency responders, and 911 operators who did not get information to pass on to desperate callers inside the World Trade Center.
Giuliani's law firm in bed with a company controlled by the man who uses words of evil about President Bush.
Rudolph Giuliani's law firm is making money off of Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez, and Chavez is gaining access to American lawmakers through Bracewell and Giuliani.
The man the U.S. says is uncooperative in the war on terror is tied to the candidate who touts himself as the toughest on terror.
One man revels in his anti-Americanism, calling President Bush a madman and the devil. The other man revels in his image of red, white, and blue American patriotism as a 9/11 hero and a strong leader. Hypocrisy? Giuliani as a corporate shill?
But our winner to the government of the city of New York, Rudolph W. Giuliani, then mayor, city contractor, and a retired sanitation department official, say in court papers they witnessed the city putting a rush order on the sifting of the debris from the World Trade Center in October 2001. Thus, not only were body parts of the victims, some at least, lost, but that some of that debris wound up in the pile of junk used to fill potholes on the streets of the city. And if you were wondering where New York City's memorial to the victims of 9/11 was, now you know. Then Mayor Giuliani and this government of the city of New York, today's worst persons in the world.
Thank God George Bush is our president.